What it do, what it is. This is the Peace Dealer, handling my biz. I hope you're minding yours. And congratulations, you are alive. This is some transition crap right here. But before I begin, can y'all hear me well in the live chat? I have repositioned my desk so my camera is on the other side now, and I'll be looking at the chat here instead of before where it was like there. So see y'all in the live chat. What's good? What's up, Divine Evolution? This is ironically the purpose of Mercury and Scorpio. So how do I sound? Do I sound all right? Do I sound too loud? Not loud enough or just right? Sweet. Um, this is going to be your favorite Mercury transit if you want to evolve the awareness of your mind. If any of you like those crime detective shows where the detective just knows how to piece stuff together, all extraordinarily rare, this is that transit where you really evolve. If you are a Pluto in Scorpio and you have your Saturn in Aquarius or Gemini, or Capricorn, or even Pisces, get ready. It's time, especially if you are in the Neptune and Uranus and Capricorn generation. Get ready, my friends. It is time. You are now in a proper position to evolve and advance your psychic ability and your awareness. Right now, from this date into the Great Awakening, when Saturn goes into Capricorn, this is basically what it's going to go down towards. The Divine RPG just begun. And Mercury in Scorpio is a position, especially natally, that allows you in a very profound way to harness a deeper understanding of what is happening in your experience. Scorpio in astrology is a fixed sign, and fixed water gives it the quality of wisdom. Thank you, Queen. And once again, I'm going to intro myself to say for those of you who donate with the live chat, stay tuned at the very end because with the moon in Virgo, I'll be pulling the wisdom of the House of Night. It's time to get a little bit intuitive. All right. And a portion of the proceeds will be going to certain relief efforts. But regardless, when Mercury is in Scorpio, there is a, thank you, Joanna, there is a profound understanding of what you experience. And one thing that has to be understood, understanding Mercury in a transit, this is what helps your mind gear into focus, cognitive processing, and understanding for you to move forward ahead. Case in point, because the sun transiting Jupiter is going to be what powers this awakening from now, well, not technically now, but when we have the sun, Jupiter, and Mercury conjunct in Scorpio, this is what's generationally is going to bloof, burst forth energy. This is going to be a great release. And the release is going to happen if you have Pluto and Scorpio. There, you're gonna have a sub, like if any of you have like the Kyubi in your soul or like a Jinchuriki, that cage is gonna, and even if you don't, Pluto and Scorpio is here and it's gonna manifest in different areas for different people. If you're Pluto Libra, this happened to you on a mental level. When Jupiter hit Pluto in Libra, you just went through a, and like you could suddenly psychologically communicate with people on a much deeper level. All right, this is an evolution. So Pluto Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? Like this is it's the sun that's going to do this. And then even if your Pluto is 29 degrees Scorpio, as the sun and Jupiter get closer, it's going to intensify. So don't wait for the conjunction for it to kind of happen. It's going to go as soon as it goes into Scorpio, okay? Which is now. But the thing to see this as far as like a snapshot of the transit, is that the energy is going to release, and then it's going to travel. And then once it gets into Capricorn, once we step into Capricorn season in January, and Saturn is Capricorn, this is when it's go time. So a large majority of the Pluto Scorpio generation, and a lot of you, regards to generation, you're about to like have a 2-month training montage. Let me contextualize this. Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to have freaky awakening like experiences where your spirit and your mind, all right, is evolved to the point where the energy, the sun and Jupiter is what's going to release this, and then Mercury is what's going to help you understand, like, oh snap. Especially if you play a video game, the sun is your awareness, the ability to see the 360. Mercury is the status bar, all right? Whether you press pause, Mercury is the dialogue. It's what you press to press A. That's why it's a bit logical and mechanical. Like, this is how you kind of understand what's going. Whereas if you don't have Mercury, you're just going to be free flow, which is great. Sometimes you have to turn off Mercury so you could just be free flow and you don't have all this stuff distracting you. But Mercury is going to really give you the status bar. Some of you have powerful Mercury, so you can see other people's health points. I'm talking about, if you read the gamer manga, that's kind of like the analogy there. But regardless, though, this is going to be powerful because from now on, some of you, you've had this awakening earlier. So it's not happening to everyone. This is just like the general gist. But for a majority of people, because you're going to have people who are in the Pluto Libra generation, or you'll have some Pluto Virgos that are like Madara, which if you are, I'm going to make, if anyone can make a special graphic for me, I will love you forever. And whoever makes the best graphic, I'm going to put this on my piece dealer wall. I'll put different versions, okay? But definitely, I broke down the Pluto generations with Naruto, where Pluto Leo is Danzo, right? Pluto Virgo is the Sanin, Jiraiya, Orochimaru. Pluto Libra is Obito, all right? And the fourth Hokage. Pluto Scorpio, if you're Pluto Scorpio, you're in the generation of Kakashi and Itachi and Killer Bee. And Naruto, Sasuke, Neji, that's Pluto Sagittarius. That's 95 to like 2008. And then Boruto is Pluto Aquarius, the next generation. They already started making the shows for that generation. It's out. And then Konohamaru is Pluto Capricorn. So if any of you want to like make a graphic of this, I was gonna do this, but you know, some of you are more creative than me. I'm just kind of using that analogy because what's gonna happen is now that the Pluto Scorpios are awakening, think to like Kakashi back when he was still training under the fourth Hokage. You're gonna have people who were born from 71 to like 84 and 52 to 71, they're going to see Pluto Scorpio awaken. And you're going to have some Pluto Libra and Pluto Virgo recruiting some of the Pluto Scorpio. Some of you Pluto Scorpios are going to awaken, and you're going to have to go through this on your own, and it's going to be a hard process. Some of you, your parents are Pluto Virgo. They're going to be like, oh, you finally awakened. Some of your parents are going to punk you, yo. Some of your parents, they've been acting 3D because they were just waiting for you to get your Saturn return. And then they're just going to be like, okay, now that you've awakened, I can now show you what it is that you possess in your family. Some really weird, crazy shit. And like some people, you won't have family members. Some people, it could be a teacher. Trust me, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Pluto Libra, some of you, especially in the Divine RPG, you're going to get recruited by someone of an older generation who can really teach you how to use the powers because they already went through the evolution stage and they have that wisdom, all right? But regardless, some people won't have that help. Some people you're meant to be independent and do it on your own, and you'll know. But it's important before I go forward to reiterate and highlight that when it comes to a whole lot of what is happening, Mercury is passing the sun and it's going to move forward into Sagittarius and retrograde as Saturn goes into Capricorn. Right now, your energy is sparking up and awakening intensely. And it's not until Saturn goes into Capricorn and Jupiter retrogrades that you'll be able to now, okay, you've awakened. Now it's time to do your first mission. So, for example, the next 2 months is like when you reveal, and it's not like you're uncovering a new gift. A lot of you awakened gifts and talents 2011 and even before that. So you're going to find that this Scorpio transit, it's going to make even more sense. So once again, it's not linear for everyone. So some of you are in cycles earlier and you're already experiencing this. But for a lot of you, it's just going to be like, whoa, now I understand why I spent the last 6 years practicing this ability. For those of you on that wave, let's like assume from 2011 to 2017, you really had to trust the universe. You had to go through amazing lessons, learning how to be more psychic, learning how to like trust your intuition, learning how to read tarot or any gift that you have. And now that it's in Scorpio and it's in the last half of the zodiac, it's going to come into its application. Now you're going to be in a situation where you need to find something. Somebody's like, I will pay you $500 right now if you find my watch. And you get a vision, and now you have to trust your intuition. And you're not going to have that doubt anymore because you're going to have that vision. You're going to remote view it, and bam, you get set on a brand new path because now now it's not happening to you. The first 6 years was that I'm psychic and these are experiences happening to me. Now it's what are you going to do with your power? All right, you get me? And it's very, very profound because some of you, you're going to be pushed into this, especially if your spirit is in the higher signs. You're going to get pushed into it. So a lot of you Sagittariuses and Capricorns and Pisces, you're like tiptoeing because you know, like a Gemini can be like in the psychic realm naive. Like we don't really know how deep it is. You guys see how deep it is. And the universe is still just going to push you in there. Like, well, if you don't use your psychic powers, you're probably going to die. What's up? Like it's going to get really intense. So trust me when I say you have a whole lot of like training to do. Apollodite, always killing it with the analogies too. This is like when Naruto learns a new technique. It's like he had to learn how to make a Rasengan. He had to go through the development so that now that Jupiter's in Scorpio, he's going to learn how to make a new technique. And then when Saturn goes into Capricorn, he's using that technique to kill a member of an evil terrorist organization called the Akatsuki, okay? For some of you who need a better analogy, this is like from now until December, you have a crash course. You find out what school you are. Are you a Gryffindor? Are you a Slytherin? You find out how to do your specific magic spells. And then come top of 2018, some of you are going to get pushed on a battlefield where it's like, oh, now I see why I had to keep getting put in certain situations where I felt people were deceiving me. Because now I have to be in a position where I know someone's deceiving me and I have to call them out on it. So trust me, and I don't really, unfortunately, I have never seen one Harry Potter movie or book. I think it's something that I really need to delve into because I know there's some gems there that will kind of like evolve, but my understanding of magic. But regardless, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to harp on how much I know I can just say this, but you're going to show yourself. This is going to be shown to you. And especially since, you know what I'm saying? This is already happening to a lot of you. Phoenix Rising said, if you don't use your psychic ability, what happens, Mike? Are there consequences? That's a good question. There are no consequences, and you're always using your psychic ability. And this really lets me flow on to the next concept, where the whole purpose of this Mercury and Scorpio transit is a quantum psychology that you're going to evolve into, to where you don't have to say half of what you say, because you acknowledge with more than half of the other people you're in the energetic fields that you share, as well as the telepathy that you have. This transit is going to very quickly make you aware of group telepathy, to where when you get into a room and you're involved in this enormous sea of vibration, you have a local vibration. Let's say you're in a classroom and you go into that classroom, there's people pulling in their energies and it bloop, 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 bloop. So you go into that classroom and then you now add into the bloop, bloop. So you still have your individual energy circle, and it's inside an energy circle. This is a transit where you realize, holy shit, there are people like Capricorns, Scorpios, Sagittariuses. They know how to manipulate that energy circle. They know how to see the energy circle. Yeah, I'm giving away your secrets. And they know how to draw on people's energy because they see it. Aquarius knows it. You know what I'm saying? So if you weren't aware of it, some of you felt it. All right, Cancer, Gemini. Some of you probably didn't see it, but you felt it. Or you can sense the thought, right? So this is literally why some of you have Pisces moons, or some of you have Scorpio moons, and you can't go into some bubbles because it's like, oh hell no. If I go into this bubble, I'm gonna kill everyone in here. Like, you need to trust your moon, because not every energy bubble is pure. Some people are really disgusting and they go into energy bubbles and they spread their disgusting energy around. This is why you need to have psychic self-defense, so that even if you enter a bad energy bubble, you're still protected, and then you cut cords before you leave a classroom or before you leave any kind of like place, so you don't drag the energy with you. And this quantum psychology is going to have you intuitively, literally, like, implement psychic ability on your own. And this is what you're going to have to integrate, where you're starting to really understand and see into more profoundly what motivates people psychologically to do what they want to do through interactive experiences. Which, remember, this is all possible because you just spent a whole year expanding upon and showing up in relationships and showing people, coming out the spiritual closet, who you are. Now that it's in Scorpio, you can finally bond and communicate with people who understand your lingo and reveal a whole lot. In other words, my friends, the secrets are coming out. Because who is Mercury? It's the messenger. And then the sun's going to be here, and there's going to be a flashlight that's about to be exposed. People, if you listen to people, and this is the best part about Mercury and Scorpio, if you listen to people and you don't listen to respond or interrupt, but if you just listen to people and don't just listen to what they say, if you listen to their soul, Mercury and Scorpio is going to show you what people really feel about you, what people really feel about what they're saying, whether people are being real or not. It's less about what people say and it's more how they say it, because people are going to expose themselves. Jupiter on Mercury is going to make people like kind of express a little bit. If you pay attention though, because it's not Sagittarius that's going to be in front of your face. If you pay attention, people won't even be aware how, yeah, they're consciously trying to say whatever they're saying, but Mercury and Scorpio is going to like show you behind their body language what their energy is saying. All right. Mercury is Hermes, the magician, and you're going to really whoop up a newer understanding of how to manifest your personal occult magic. All right. This is definitely, and of course, some of you already go through this. You know what I'm saying? Especially Queen, like she's a Leo. Leo, you went through this the past 2 years because the North Node in your sign is putting you on an advanced track. So One lesson for Mercury and Scorpio that you want to embrace quite profoundly is the need to embrace your flaws and your insecurities. One cool thing about Scorpio and Virgo for that matter is they put the magnifying glass on insecurities that you have, stuff that you face that you like to hide. This is how you circumvent the Scorpio energy. Instead of hiding anything, you have to really embrace that which you're insecure about. Because Mercury and Scorpio, you're not going to be able to hide that. The fakest people are going to be exposed because they're going to try and hide and make up for their insecurities. Your flaws are Virgo because Virgo is the sign of perfection, and your insecurities are Scorpio because Taurus and the second house is the zodiac sign of values and self esteem. So the opposite of that is desirability, to make yourself attractive. And the dark side of Scorpio is insecurity. This is what breeds jealousy. This is what breeds mistrust. And if you do not embrace your insecurities, this is going to be really embarrassing for you, because then you're going to be a part of people trying to show face. And this is going to apply very much so in relationships too. Like, if you're very insecure about the partner you have, it's going to show a whole lot. And you have to remember, with Venus and Libra, integrity talks. So you cannot project your insecurities on partners, especially when the Scorpio energy will make you aware of certain things beneath the surface. The reason why Scorpios are paranoid in relationships is because when they're with a partner and their partner is with someone that they find attractive, that Scorpio will feel it. That Scorpio will know what's possible. And then they get paranoid when their main lesson is trust, because every human being has attraction, and you have to be able to trust somebody enough to express their feelings while still maintaining their boundaries. You ever know how a Scorpio will just get like mad possessive, and it's just like, you got to tell me what you told that other person, or why are you going out? It's and Taurus is the same way too. It's because they're not dumb, they're hip to stuff, but they're also really paranoid. And when they get in their feelings, they literally turn stupid. And they need to get out their feelings, because when they get out their feelings, they're very intelligent people. And it's an issue of mistrust. Now, we're not talking about in cases where their intuition is right and they're dealing with low life scumbags who betray their trust, or when they basically focus on it so much it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because they manifested it, or they tried to look for it and set it up and they basically made it happen, which is your fault and you can't project that on other people. But regardless, it's going to indicate at a large level insecurities with that scorpionic energy that you have to face. For the people who are going to do the best in this transit, every single person is going to be faced with insecurities that you've been feeling come up. All right. You know this because they're embedded in your fears and your flaws. And the people who are going to really excel from this will accept the insecurity, and they won't get in their feelings about it. You're going to have some limitations. I mean, everyone likes to think they're perfect, but every single person has something they're insecure about or they've released. All right. For example, air and fire signs, you could allow this to really slip you up. And earth and water signs, you don't want to identify with this or project it. Like, you have to remember, it's not even about being a perfect being. Your flaws and your insecurities are your greatest opportunities to evolve through. Mercury in Scorpio wants to teach you that anything you're insecure about is because your potential is at the other polarity and you're afraid of going through the issue. as we move into Sagittarius, before Mars gets, because once Mars gets into Scorpio, this is when you're going to be chopping demon heads off. All right. Some of you will be demons fighting other people. So trust me, like you're having to prepare your mind and your spirit. And the key word here for the warriors watching, no fear. Like you're going to starting from this transit, because what's going to happen, my friends? Yeah, you're going to release this, but did you hear what I said? People are going to start recruiting you. And that's just on the good end. This awakening is going to come with a lot of struggle, because you're a lot of people collectively, your energy levels are going to rise, and your energy levels are going to rise and get bigger. And this is going to attract way more energy vampires towards you. This is going to attract a lot more people who want to take advantage of you. And people are going to be more attracted to you during this period because there's something you emanate. Some people are going to act like they don't know. That's why you had to spend the first 6 years building yourself up, building up your defense, making sure you have, because now you won't have that excuse. Remember when Saturn's in Capricorn, you have to get your shit together, because now you're not going to be in a position where it's like, oh, I didn't listen to my intuition. I should, that person was, you've already developed this. All right. You've already developed skills that you can apply and have to really, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're on point, it's still going to be challenging. So none of you can really complain about it being hard. This is some evolution, ascension, spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? You have to, because in this culture, we think we have the luxury of complaining about everything, because this is a free country. We feel it's important that we have our feedback, but we take a whole lot for granted. And you know what I'm saying? These negative vibrational entities, and even the positive ones, don't give a goddamn about really what you think you deserve or not. This is what we're fighting to gain control back over. So just keep that in mind. Like you're in a very pivotal period where a lot of the hard spiritual work you have done is finally set to show itself in profound ways. Okay, in very profound ways. So take this evolution of your psychic awareness to greater heights. The keyword for Scorpio is wisdom, and Mercury is magic and understanding. So you're going to gain really great wisdom that you'll apply in multiple ways, in a myriad of ways, and in powerful ways. All right. And this is where, in the embracing of your flaws and insecurities, you start to gain an understanding of how we really still don't take care of the root of issues. We focus on the symptoms and we give prescriptive solutions which only address the symptoms. So we come back to do the same stuff instead of address the issue. And this is where I have to reveal Neptune's evil plan for peace, because Mercury is going to trine Neptune, and it's the sextile to Pluto and the trine to Neptune that's going to really highly advance your ability to understand what's going around you in a deeply psychic way, to where you're just knowing things, okay? And this is once again very important for those of you who have Pluto Scorpio. You're going, all the Pluto definitions are going to experience this, but Pluto Scorpio, you're going to experience what I'm saying very intensely, okay? Neptune's evil plan for peace. Neptune is using Pisces and Pisces moons through their unconscious. Some Pisces don't even know that they're doing this. Neptune has an evil plan for peace. Neptune does not give a fuck about you going to work. Do you think Neptune cares that you have work in the morning? Do you think Neptune cares that you have to feed your children? Do you think Neptune gives a damn that you have to go to a meeting for a yoga convention at 6 o'clock in the morning? Neptune just wants you to be. Neptune in Pisces is literally doing everything it can to get in the way of your 3D struggle. And you're going to see, the uninitiated is going to see Neptune as a villain. You're going to get lethargic. Some of you are wondering, like, why do I get blocked when I do this 3D stuff? Why do I try and get this job and I get blocked? And Neptune's like, dude, chill. And people are going back to Neptune. What do I do? What do I do? And Neptune's like, dude, nothing. And then you're like, Neptune, if I do nothing, I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to like have no more bills. I mean, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. I'm going to be in trouble. And Neptune's like, is that really what's going to happen? Why don't you do nothing and find out? Like, Neptune does not care. Trust me, I'm trying to finesse this thing for you. All right. Because I'm not telling you guys to do nothing. I'm just telling you guys to bring your 3D stuff to Saturn. Like, if you want it, but Saturn comes with a demand, you gotta pay Saturn. So don't come to Neptune with your 3D stuff. And incorporating Neptune is using your intuition as well as, like, you know what I'm saying? But and praying. But some of you are really experiencing this. Some of you, you're trying to go to school. You know what I'm saying? Anything that has to do with institutionalized efforts or programs or systems, Neptune is trying to take you out of that. That's why Pluto in Capricorn is busting systems to where it's whether it's working or not, it's not necessarily vibing. People aren't really like wanting to do that anymore. All right. And it's having to like evolve. It's having to accommodate this. So I want you to really embrace this because it's a real battle. Like, for those of you who are going through very intense Neptune transits, Neptune is trying to kidnap you. And Neptune's evil plan for peace is to bring people back to the infinite Tsukuyomi. Neptune is like Obito in Naruto. Like, when Neptune gets its way, y'all keep sleeping on Neptune. What does Neptune rule? Y'all keep sleeping on Neptune. And the way I see it, there's so many Walking Dead. Neptune's really close. What Neptune wants to do is gain enlightenment through peace, right? And like to make sure everyone is unconscious, because if no one lives, then no one's going to have pain. And if everyone's gone, this is the dark side versus the light side, by the way. So the dark committee is like, we need everyone to be receptive and be, you know what I'm saying? If we just return back to the source, then this is true peace. No one's going to have pain. No one's going to have any like negative feelings, and we'll all be in bliss. And then the light side is like, fuck that. How is anyone going to see who I am individually? And so they're literally fighting for life. Like, I'm so serious. Now, Neptune doesn't necessarily want everyone to die. So Neptune doesn't want everyone to die and like pass away, but Neptune in this 3D does not care. Neptune knows you have a purpose. Neptune wants to align you to your divine purpose on Earth. All right. Neptune gets called a conspiracy theorist with Uranus, and Neptune also gets called delusional. All right. This is the energy that rules that. All right. Just know that it's Saturn that's like, Neptune, Uranus, I'm trying to pimp my matrix here. Stop getting in the way. All right. Neptune, especially if you have Neptune square Saturn, you're going to find you have that like dilemma in your chart. All right. So if Neptune is retrograde, it's just going to indicate a stronger connection with Neptune. But this is very important because with Mercury in Scorpio, this is where some of you, if you take that risk, you're going to be in a position to find an alternative way. What is the Scorpio? The occult. You're going to really find a way to kind of like come into the revolution. All right. For those of you who are more Saturnian ruled, you don't necessarily have this issue. All right, and you'll kind of see Neptune mess with you, and you'll be like, "Ha, I see through your illusions." But for those of you who speak the language of illusions and speak the language of magic and mystic, just know Neptune is not really the villain. Neptune is willing to be the villain if you're too stuck in 3D, but Neptune literally wants you to do nothing. So whenever you feel yourself stressed out and you feel like you have to do a lot, that's because Neptune is putting blocks in your way. So during this transit, at least, you do nothing. Just feel what you're experiencing. The thing that is so profound is that if everyone did nothing and just went with the flow, everything would align the way it's supposed to. This is why Neptune is like, this is what a Pisces naturally understands this because they can just observe everything and see how certain magic patterns work, but they know other people aren't advanced enough to believe. Faith at that level is advanced. You have to be advanced to have like superpowered faith to just kind of trust in certain things. Not faith isn't as simple as like just believing in something blindly. That's not blind faith is not like faith. Like faith comes with knowledge. You have to know what you're having faith about. That's something a lot of people don't know when it comes to belief. Belief is kind of like supplemented to that. So other than that, the quantum world and the imagination realm is set to be activated. And yes, drunk Pisces are the best. Like it's interesting, but um, the quantum world, it is real as this as the realm in the spiritual, and information is transmitted over time into the real world. So especially if you have Gemini or Sagittarius in your chart, or ninth house or third house energy, these are the gateways of consciousness that key you in to being aware with this Neptune square. Let me tell you what's happening to some of you. You're going into situations and like it'll kind of be a little bit hazy. And some of you have control. Like if you have Sun on Neptune, you can turn this on and off. But some of you are in positions where like if it gets triggered for you, you're seeing the spiritual realm in the physical. And it's a mode that you have to shift into. So if you don't have mutable energies, you might not notice it because some of you go through it, but the Gemini and Sagittarius energy is necessary to delineate between and hear what's spirit talk and what the 3D talk is. Like for those of you who have Gemini or Sagittarius, you know how you can hear someone say something and like you hear what they're saying in 3D, but you also hear the spirit, you hear the higher meaning. Like some people can tell you stuff and they don't even know their higher self is speaking through them. 12 housers, you live this. All right. So just keep that in mind. Like some of you see it. Gemini will hear it. Sagittarius will see how something is in 3D, and then they see the spirit realm too. So it's a Neptune square that's training you to integrate both and to see the 3D. And this is an application of fifth dimensional awareness, where you now see the spiritual realm over the real. And if some of this has been happening to you, some of this has been confusing the shit out of some people, because like you'll tell somebody, oh my God, you said this. And they're like, no, I didn't. Or they won't understand, or the way that what they said meant, they won't understand. And the person will say it in a way that confirms something that you were thought in your mind. And it's going to confirm it in a special spiritual truth. And then when you try and explain it to them, they might be like, what are you talking about? That's because it was their higher self that you were listening to while they were also 3D. And this is a special, like, this is talking about this is your quantum realm. Mercury and Scorpio is going to help you see the quantum realm, because what's happening, especially if some of you are like channeling other people, like celebrities, friends, and you're having a telepathic conversation, this is opening. People think about telepathy in the quantum realm linearly. It doesn't work like that. You could be talking to someone's higher self and they could be connecting in your mental sphere, and you're exchanging thoughts and you're thinking the same thing, but in 3D, that person thinks they're talking to you, and you think you're talking to them. Or what usually happens is when you send the thought, it goes into the spiritual realm. And then in 3D, that person's spirit guides or their subconscious manifests it in their own special way. Telepathy does not always work like I'm thinking about a banana and then they're thinking about it too, unless you're touching them and it's tactile, or you're in the same area and you're in an energy bubble. So a lot of you have been interacting with the quantum realm, and you've been doing this in a way that you have to make sure you realize the quantum realm is not this real world. The real world is ruled by Earth, so it takes time. You're interacting with the quantum realm that manifests stuff instantly, okay? Especially if you're 12th house. So some of you get confused because you hop in the quantum realm and you see signs, but then you don't see it manifest in real life. And that's because you're aware of what's in the quantum. How is it going to manifest in real life? You carry that energy in the quantum, you anchor it in real life, and then you detach so it manifests through you. Once again, Mercury and Scorpio is going to help you integrate this understanding, because it's going to show you into the quantum realm, and it's going to show you how this balances in the real, which is the evolution and release we're going to have. All right. But it's important for you to know, be very careful. Here's an example of this. Here's an example. If I'm in my feelings, right, and like I'm about to chill with like someone I'm gonna see, and I'm like, oh, this person pisses me off, right? I'm sending emotions into the quantum realm. And now that person could be 10 miles away from me. And even before we meet, they might not get it instantly, but as we get closer, they're going to receive it like, whoa, this is weird. Even if they're not that psychic, like, does this person not like me? Or some people are oblivious. I'm usually the oblivious one. I won't even know that's what I'm feeling. I'll be like, hey, do you feel weird? What's wrong? And this is how literally you have to be on point with your vibration, because you're sending emotions into the quantum realm. When you think about someone, when you have sexual feelings towards someone, you're giving them energy. You're actually accessing with them. Like if you want to have a telepathic conversation with someone, think about someone, connect, and then just like literally send a text. Just think about them and feel like you're talking to them. Now, chances are they're not really going to heal you real time. If you barely know them and they've never met you, it's like a thought bouncing from someone they don't know, as opposed to if you already have a connection with them. Some of you can strengthen other people's telepathic channels just by doing that. And it may take time for them to know that you've been doing that, but you're going to find if you're just like, hey, how are you, my sister? And like you send that to them and you just let it go, they might text you. They might text you and be like, hey, what's up? And they wouldn't even know that they got pinged. Trust me, this is going to get a whole lot stronger. Some of you, you were born knowing how to do this. I'm just barely understanding. I'm a Gemini. Like I have this as Scorpio. Like it took me a while to really understand it. And most of this I'm channeling. So it looks like the peace dealer, but I'm just kind of like channeling, and it's new to me too. And yeah, so the next thing that is important, if you have your Neptune and Uranus in Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces, all right, well, really the first three, because the Pisces will be that, but especially for those of you who have it in Capricorn, your body is activating. Some of you are wondering why your body or your mind is doing stuff before you're consciously aware. Some of you, your bodies are just responding to people. All right. Especially if you have Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn, but Sagittarius and Aquarius too. Some of you, your bodies are activating and you have to surrender to your body. All right. Because like some of you don't even know, like, especially if you have Capricorn moons or even Virgo moons, your body will do stuff and your mind may not know your body just did a spell to someone. You could be walking down the street and then all of a sudden you feel your body just like you have to surrender to your body here. And some people will try and make you feel weird, but if your body feels like doing that, you don't know. Your body literally could be doing a magic spell and throwing energy. Trust me. Trust me. This is really happening. Like my body has shot energy, and then like I felt myself lose MP, like energy kind of lost a little bit. And then the person who I was like, what the hell? Why did I move my hand? And then the person who I didn't even know was directed there, you know what I'm saying? They'll receive the energy. That's just kind of like an example. And you guys do this more advanced than I do this. So you really need to be sensitive to what your body's doing. Some of you just release energy at random. But trust me, if you find that some of you react to someone in a certain way, you probably smacked the crap out of an entity that was attached to them. And it's not like you probably physically hit them, but you probably cleared energy. Like, you want to be more mindful. For those of you who have Neptune or Uranus in Aquarius, this is even more advanced. So your mind will just think certain thoughts, or some of you will just say certain things. And you don't have Tourette's. Trust me, your mind is just advanced. All right. And in Sagittarius, the Uranus or Neptune in Sagittarius, it's going to be like that as well. Just more on, it's just going to be more random stuff you see. So what's important to know is some of you are feeling this awaken with Saturn over it and Pluto, and you live in a generation that is prioritizing the understanding of material by studying in a book. Some of you feel your soul's pushing you to evolve, and you're trying to read on Google how to do this. Some of you want to know how to do what your soul is doing, and the body activation and the new way to learn is your soul is intuitively doing what you're wanting to desire. So you have to surrender to your souls if you feel this, because it's like you're wanting to know how to do the magic spell. You're wanting to know how to do the wisdom, and your soul is like, bruh, I got that covered for you. You just need to be aware of it. Especially if you're like a mutable sun sign, it's like, you just need to experience it, fam. Like, I'm doing it for you. Like, you don't have to know how to do the magic. So, and this is the same thing as wanting to know how to be your subconscious and breathe. Like, you never ask yourself, how do I breathe? How do I, on my own self, feel blood? I want to know how to feel blood to my cells. And your subconscious is like, nah, son, you would probably die. Let your own, like, you know what I'm saying? Let this cord in your brain that is with the amygdala and the reptilian brain and the hypothalamus. I didn't even say the right term, but let that part of your brain do this for you. Stop trying to do too much. You have to really let a lot of the magic happen. What you're wanting to have is the power, and that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. But because of the way you've been raised, your mind thinks that you have to learn it. Your mind thinks that you literally have to learn it, and you won't understand it until you learn it. When you were born knowing this knowledge, this is a new way to learn. And you need to listen to your kids if you have any, because your kids are better than this than you right now. The new way to learn is you're just going to remember how to do it. The South Node in Aquarius is going to have you remember your own old soul memory, where your powers exist from your heart. North Node in Leo. So you just have to tune in, and some of you are going to remember how to speak languages you've never learned. This is where things get freaky. You're just going to learn how to speak languages you never learned. You're just going to learn how to do psychic surgery on something. Your body's just going to know what to do. And if you trust your intuition, Neptune and Capricorn or Neptune and Sag, you can literally do profound stuff that you did. Like certain kids, I've seen a kid do this, yo. Like a kid who's like less than 10 years old. He's never read a Reiki manual, but he's like, all right, put it down here, put your hands down here. All right, I'm gonna clear this cords out here. I'm gonna put this on your head. Have you had a headache? And it's like, whoa, who taught you? And be like, I don't know what I'm doing, because they're just surrendering and they're letting spirit flow through them. So trust me, yo, like the more you surrender, and this is gonna be hard because some of you are like, how do I do it? How do I do it? How do I do it? Because you feel like you need to be inputted knowledge externally and then process it. But this is a new way. Trust me, it's gonna feel weird because you're just gonna remember. And so you feel like you have to do something in order to awaken it. But you literally have to do nothing, and you have to let it happen from within you until you surrender to your soul and just let it happen, which means letting go of when it'll happen and how it'll happen, but knowing it's going to happen and charging your mind with the full intent to know that your kundalini will raise. That's the only way. So you almost have to, like, you know what I'm saying, look backwards. So believe in what you do, even if it's just you. People will eventually understand where you're getting at and where you're coming from. But especially those of you with Neptune and Uranus and Capricorn, as Astro Dim said, it's really hard for Earth to surrender because Uranus and Neptune in Sagittarius, it's going to be easy for them to surrender. They just have to experience it. Uranus and Neptune in Aquarius, you already know it's happening for you. Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn, this is going to be hard because your body is going to feel like it has to do something. It's cardinal. Your body's going to feel like something has to be done, and you know something has to be triggered, but you have to, especially if you're an air sign, this will be the hardest. Like, it's not, you can't do it with your brain. You kind of have to tune in with your body and just kind of surrender and do it at the same time. Brianne Mendez, this is the transit that's going to open up out of body experiences because you're going to release surplus of energy that will force you out your body because you'll have more energy to do it. Because leaving your body takes a lot of chakra, and you have to have a lot of stamina mentally, and it's the energetic strength required will kind of come in here. So the next thing I need to understand, I need to kind of break the layer down before we go into Mercury and Scorpio, because there's an advanced understanding that you need to kind of know before you understand how deep this transit is, because we're flying off the hinges of logic. Mercury is going to be trining Neptune, and it's going to be conjuncting most of your Plutos. So this is where things get science fiction, except it's not science fiction. It's real life, if we can even call this that. Remember, in this 3D experience, the reason why Pisces is opposite Capricorn is this is not just the real experience. Water represents the unseen. So we call it emotions, but it's just vibes. So just like there's this real Virgo dimension, everything that's real has its own frequency emitting from it. And so like water, you have the ocean, but you also have the sea of energy that you go through. So that's what's filling in the blank. That's water. That's Pisces, right? Especially if you put Virgo at the 12th house, which is this reality, and Pisces is the 6th house, you're swimming through the energy. And the 6th house, that's where you make magic, and you take the energy, and even though it's unseen, you're interacting with it. 12th house, 6th house duality. So this is important for my late bloomer generational influencers, okay? A lot of you need to believe in what you do. Right now, no one may be paying attention to it, but even if it's just 5 or 6 people, people are going to eventually understand and catch on. If you survive through the Scorpio season, and the name of the game starting from Mercury and Scorpio over the next 2 months is to trust your intuition and to trust that which your heart is really pushing forward, because this is the breakthrough. This is, certain things are going to happen. If what you have has integrity, then when Saturn goes into Capricorn, it's going to stand the test of time, and then people will finally catch on. If you were wrong, if you were mistaken, all right, and what you're doing does not have integrity, it's not going to work. And then you will have the decision to let go and try something new. And this is where, if your intent is pure, because some of you have intuitions you're following and your intent is pure, but no one else understands it right now. And from now until Saturn in Capricorn, you're going to build it. You're going to see stuff work with this. It's going to work. And if it has integrity, it's going to work. And people are going to be like, oh, you're going to have a lot of people in 2018 that are like, whoa, we thought what you were doing was complete bullshit. Or we thought you were delusional when you said you were having these intuitions. Look at what you're doing with it. Looks like you were right. All right. Some of you, you're not going to do shit with it because you were not in integrity and you were believing delusions and it was not your intuition. And when the universe told you to let go, you didn't let go. All right. Some of you, you're believing in your intuition sincerely. All right. And you're believing in it because you're honestly doing what the universe told you to do. And sorry, it's not that the universe told you to do, but you honestly at a heart level believe it, but you were mistaken. The universe will forgive you. All right. You're not going to be judged. You're going to see that you were wrong, and your lesson will be letting go. If you don't let go, then you'll get in trouble. Those of you who don't have integrity and you know what you're doing is wrong and you're doing it anyway, it's going to be exposed. So Eddie Dude just asked, how do we know if our intuition are real or lies? It's less about whether it's real or lies, just like it's not about good or bad as far as it is between positive and regressive or negative, okay? The way you're going to know if your intuition is real or not is when Saturn goes into Capricorn, it's going to manifest. And you're going to literally see, and this is important because some of you need to believe in yourself. Some of you, when Saturn goes into Capricorn, you're going to see, oh my God, I was right. Some of you thought maybe you were a little delusional because it took you a while to see, just like Abraham. It's like, was God playing with me? Am I really going to have this child? Right? And this is, I'm going to use that analogy again. It's like, am I really going to have this child? Like, that's the dilemma, especially through moving into Capricorn. It's like, I'm over 100 years old. And then when Saturn goes into Capricorn, that's how you knew your intuition was right. Because your wifey, who thought God was full of shit and you were just delusional, ends up having that child. All right. And it's like a miracle happens. This is real physical evidence, Saturn in Capricorn. But the purpose of Jupiter in Scorpio is where you initially experience the, whoa, this intuition is true. Because think about it, the Scorpio element is hearing the voice of God in the first place, where it's like, holy shit, I'm speaking to a higher being, right? That's the Scorpio part. It's like, whoa, this intuition is a real thing. Now, until Capricorn is where we see whether that voice can be trusted, but Mercury and Scorpio is where you're going to start to experience and have these instances and moments, okay? And that's important in and of itself, because it's like that Scorpio led to the Capricorn manifestation. All right. So regardless, if you have Saturn in Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, and you were born like in the 80s or the 90s, you are the late bloomer generation. Not so much Saturn in Sag, but definitely everyone after Saturn in Capricorn. And when I do a Saturn webinar, I'll talk about this. But if you were born in the late 80s and you have this, even if you are a bit older with this, you are a late bloomer, okay? And you need to really understand you're a part of a generation that is gaining, it's shifting from how the older generation had to like transcend from their own brainwashing that happened to them. And then it's also gaining more power. So you late bloomers, especially if you have Saturn in Aquarius or Capricorn or Pisces, like, you have to understand you have people from an older generation that are expecting you to do stuff you're not even supposed to do to your Saturn return. So 30s are the new 20s. The average 25-year-old or 27-year-old is supposed to have like a family, a degree, they're supposed to have a job. But if you have Saturn in Capricorn and Aquarius or Pisces, Saturn doesn't even want you to do that. Saturn is like, hold on, homie, like you're not even supposed to get married until your Saturn return. Hold on, son. Like, we don't even want you. Why you keep talking to us about being successful? You need to experience life. All right. And some of you are getting robbed of this. Some of you are stuck in 3D stuff so that by the time you have your Saturn return and maybe you do have the chance to travel, now you don't have that experience. Saturn, like older Saturn generations did not have that luxury. But if you feel yourself wanting to be free, if you feel yourself like not needing that seriousness, don't trust me. Some people will say that you need to grind in your 20s, but some of you are trying to grind and you're blocked. That's because Saturn's like, did you have your Saturn return yet? Why are you talking to me about success? Like, you still need to experience life. Like, people got society twisted because they need some way to finesse your pockets. You're not supposed to do major adult life decisions until your Saturn return. Once you have everything and it returns, and then you walk your path, just like Jesus starting his ministry at 33. Okay, so really keep this in mind, my friends. Like, you need to stop letting people pressure you, and you need to take your time. Saturn is all about taking your time. I'm not necessarily saying that you need to put your life on hold until you're 29, but you need to stop letting the pressures of the world get to you. If you're not 29 years old and you're worrying about being someone in the world, you're worrying about being successful. Like, if you have to take care of your bills, if you have to take care of your lifestyle, your living, then you have to be mature. That's not Saturn's fault. But if you're worried about being successful, if you're worried about reaching a certain like Oprah didn't even, so many of these greats, they didn't even reach success, or they didn't even like get that big break until like their 40s or their 30s. That's because you have to have a Saturn return. But some of you are being pushed to do this older so that other people can reap off of your success. And trust me, you're better if, you know what I'm saying? So, especially some of you who are wanting to like conquer the world, like Dominic. You need a Saturn return for that, buddy. Like, you know, some of you are trying to be like child prodigies and do everything at a young age. And that's because a lot of your parents, on a psychological level, pushed you to do that and pushed you to want to do that. All right. And really release that so that you tap into the spirit procrastination and rebellion, because that's what spirit is starting to do. If some of you are procrastinating, Neptune and spirit, it's not lethargy, it's not procrastination. Neptune and spirit are rebelling against false systematic structures that really just drain your energy, aka aliens. But really keep that in mind. Like, it's a rebellion you're fighting against. It's not exclusively just you. Those of you who have more aligned energy may not feel this, but if you're a yin yang apprentice and that episode's going to come out as soon as tonight, maybe, you're going to really feel into both of this. Someone asked, what if your Mercury, Saturn's in a sign for like 2.5 years. If your Mercury is in Scorpio, you're going to gain an evolution and a return of understanding, oh, okay, this is what I'm ready to do. Like, when Mercury goes around the chart, you gain the information and it returns in your sign. And then it's like, oh, okay, now time to go through a new cycle of understanding and learning. But things get even better because there's an auric release that is set to occur. And this auric release is being triggered by Pluto. All right. This auric release is for those of you who are authentic. And this is why you need to embrace your insecurities and your flaws, because there's going to be, for a lot of you, there's been a lot of energy building up at your root or at your sacral chakra to prepare for an immense Kundalini awakening or for a release of your aura. And if you're not at terms with your insecurities, instead of surrendering to your body and just letting go, you're going to suppress it and you're going to close your heart, and you're going to be in a position where you don't really like, thank you, Danielle, you don't necessarily like accept yourself. And this energy is going to implode on itself. And if you let this energy implode on itself, you're going to be out for 2 weeks. You're going to awaken, but it's literally going to feel like crap. Whereas you have to just let this energy release and build up. And as you awaken, as this energy releases, you're going to process a lot of painful feelings. You're going to feel a lot of insecurity. You're going to feel a lot of dark, negative emotions about yourself that you've suppressed and that you don't really like. You're going to feel the full brunt of how other people don't like you. You're going to feel about where you've messed up and your insecurities and what really gets you to even feel insecure in the first place. And that's the whole point, because you're releasing it. And once you release it and feel it, though, you have to feel it and embrace it. You have to embrace that time you embarrassed yourself in front of hundreds of other people and that made you feel like a loser. And you have to embrace how that makes you feel. And you have to release that and remember that's not you, but you experienced it. So release it, all right? As you release and let that go, you're going to come into more magic. You're going to come into more power. And this is going to release the residual aura generationally that was in a whole lot of your energy, okay? So definitely, you don't necessarily want to just like find what you're insecure about and feel it. It's going to come out from within you. What I'm talking about is what you're going to experience over the next week or two. And don't like look for your insecurities, but when they come up, whenever they come up, acknowledge it, feel it, and then kick that motherfucker out and release it. Be like, okay, you gotta go. Like we've seen you. The sun and the Mercury are flashlighting it. Release it. It's not you. It's an illusion. It's a false perception. So feel it, release it, cry if you have to, but then claim your power. So those of you want to understand, like, what the hell is going on? How do I access my power? The way to surrender to it is to claim it. The power your intuition knows you have, claim it. Before you see evidence of it, claim it. Before anyone else believes it, you have to believe it first. Claim it. In some rare cases, other people see it in some people and believe it, but you don't want to wait for that. Claim it and affirm it. All right. So we're going to do that right now. And we're going to take the next 2 minutes of our energy to really just claim this in order to activate it. And it's honestly as simple as saying, I claim the power that I have. And you're not going to know a majority of what it is you're claiming. So you don't have to know to the detail. Just hold the intention and affirm, I do have the power. I know in my soul, I'm ready to awaken. All right. And this is the whole purpose. What this Mercury and Scorpio is going to do for the cardinal signs, this is going to give you wisdom over your psychic gifts. If you're a Capricorn, if you're a Cancer, if you're Aries, if you're a Libra, the psychic gifts that you've developed over the past 6 years, you're finally going to understand deep wisdom on what to do with it, to where you can apply this so much more powerfully. If you're a mutable sign, if you're a Gemini, if you're a Pisces, if you are a Sagittarius or a Virgo, you're going to undergo a magic awakening so that you could experience a whole lot of what you do in more magical ways. How this is going to influence you with Mercury and Scorpio is you're going to start being aware of how your synchronicities and magic make sense. And you're going to start to finally understand how it ties together, and how where cardinal signs will know what to do, mutable signs, it's not about what to do, it's about what happens when you're around. That's why mutable signs and cardinal signs make the best tag teams. It's like we're a status effect. Mutable signs, you're going to realize, oh, when I walk into this room, this stuff starts to happen to other people. So it's not about what you do, it's about you just being there. Okay, so that's why if a good cardinal sign has a mutable sign on their side, where it's like, okay, if I bring my mutable sign friend or a Pisces friend to a place, this is going to happen. And then I can do something with my power to where if I didn't have my mutable sign friend to maybe distract or maybe to calm people down, then I wouldn't be able to do the power. So I'm giving you a little bit of secrets here. And then fixed signs. Sometimes you'll see a cardinal sign with a fixed sign instead because maybe they already have magic of their own. And what fixed signs do, they're evolving their magnetic power. So cardinal signs have psychic gifts where they can project and do stuff with, which causes an effect. All right. Mutable signs, magical stuff happens in their presence. That's why they're the hot shit. And then fixed signs, they receive. Fixed signs have wisdom and fixed signs have magnetic quality. So a cardinal sign or a mutable sign might get with a fixed sign because they know if they go out with a Taurus or if they go out with a Scorpio, like they're just going to get mad opportunity or they're going to get mad energy that they can probably use to bring stuff in. This is now and why you always want to have a 3-man squad with a cardinal sign, a mutable sign, and a fixed sign. All right. So you're going to see how this evolves specifically for you. And the reason why I gave you all this exposition is for those of you who have Pluto and Scorpio, you will be given the keys to transcend generational curses. A lot of you are going through issues with grandparents or great-grandparents who worshiped certain entities, and they're like, oh, you gonna become a Christian? Or, oh, you're gonna just stop believing in this? You think this is woo-woo bullshit? Generational curse. Ladies and gentlemen, that shit is real. So don't think that this is an excuse for you to have a victim consciousness, because some people give it more power and they're like, I can't do anything in my life because I have a generational curse. I don't know what I'm going to do because I have a generational curse. And yeah, it's powerful, but you cannot give it language, okay? You can't give it power. You have the power to fight against this. Some people turn Christian and they go to Jesus, and their colloquial entity is able to help them if they know some priests. Some people turn to witchcraft. Some people turn to other traditional religions, or in some cases, you go back and embrace that which has come for you. So it's going to be different. Some of you have to break that curse. Some of you can do that by claiming against it. And trust me, this is just going to give you the awareness of how to change this. Actually breaking the curse is going to be a 4-month to 4-year process called Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn in Capricorn is that whole transit is where you're going to break the curse. This is specific to some generations, because if you're in an older generation, you're not meant to break the curse. You're probably going to have a child who's going to break it for you. Basically, if you're like Pluto Libra, if you're Pluto Virgo, if you're Pluto Leo, you're not meant to break the curse. The curse is going to be broken by Pluto Scorpios. So you either have a sister in your family or a brother in your family or a child, or you could be that person who's going to break it. Okay? Keep this in mind, because you're going to be very pivotal. If you have a sibling in your family who is Pluto Scorpio, they're going to be using your energy to help break this curse, because you're part of it too. You're also part of the family. Okay? So the breaking of the curse, the breaking of any generational curses, because not everyone has generational curses now. Some people, their family was legit and they never had issues with their entities. So they're like 16 generations deep. And in fact, it's going to be the opposite for you. Whereas people like me are having to like battle this and like resolve it. Some of you, you're going to get bestowed energy from your grandfather and be like, all right, You are now the 17th generation of our family. You can get this. So that's another alternative of how it's going to happen. And then, of course, Saturn and Capricorn is where you now establish this new legacy. So if you're not getting anything inherited, which in the quantum realm, for those of you who feel gypped, like, well, my parents don't believe in this stuff, you have to remember your parents still have higher selves. So their higher selves in the spirit realm through dreams are going to inherit that power to you. So it's still going to happen for you. So you're going to spend basically Saturn and Capricorn breaking the curse and establishing your own legacy and tradition. And that's very important to keep in mind as we now shift into the Peace Mobile. Tabs on tabs on tabs. So Mercury opposite Uranus is going to shift into Mercury while the moon is on Venus. And it's important to note this conjunction to Jupiter is going to be the person that completely shocks and awes our minds. This is what's going to bring your minds and the understanding of energy to a new depth. If you already have Mercury in Scorpio, then you're not going to feel this. It's just going to be like, oh, hey, back to normal. So you can brag about that if you want. That's kind of cool. I would brag about it, but I don't have Mercury in Scorpio. I have Mercury in slow ass Taurus. So I'm smart, but I'm like a smart, dumb dude. And it's like, I could be hella slow sometimes, but at least when I get something, I'll probably get it better than you. Anyway, this Mercury in Scorpio transit is going to trek on forward quite gallantly. And it's important to know for the first decade of this transit, which flies on by, you will be able to understand very potently how well you can take advantage of this mental exploration and also the mental evolution. And just to reiterate once again with how this works, once we step into the second decan and this energy starts to try Neptune on the 23rd next week, all right, this is where your mind's going to go into the twilight zone. And this is also when you're going to gain a very amazing amount of understanding when it comes to seeing your mind's ability to penetrate the quantum realm. Okay. Those of you who are connecting with your twin flames or your divine partners, this is where you're going to experience psychic breakthrough, to where you're having full-on telepathic conversations with this individual. Right now, and as we speak, your energies are already connecting at that point where one might be more aware than the other, but this is going to fully blend this, especially because the second decan will be where the evolution reaches its peak. So October 26th, 2017 is going to be one of the most important days of this transit, okay? Really the whole week of the 23rd, to be honest. But this is going to start from tomorrow when this enters Scorpio. And why this is going to happen is because there's going to be a deep, intimate nature of the conversations you have. Mercury in Scorpio is when you can talk to people about the synchronicities you see. And now it's both of you opening up vulnerably in trust, which is why you need to embrace your insecurities. And this is where you're both going to reveal very powerful stuff. This is going to be the transit where it's like, oh my gosh, I've been seeing the same signs you've been seeing. We really are divine partners. And it's like now you're going to understand the blocks that got in the way of you understanding this, especially October 26th, where this evolution really hypercharges. Okay. And of course, as we continue forth with the transit, look to the square that this will make to the North Node as it goes to the third decan in 2 weeks from now. All right. To start to implement a lot of this mental, psychological, quantum evolution outwardly into how you express this and how this aligns with the karma. That being said, this Mercury and Scorpio quantum evolution. Oh shit. This Mercury and Scorpio quantum evolution. Oh, no wonder. Is going to incorporate quite profoundly. Oh my gosh, Iraq, you're right. My favorite word is profound. I need to find different words. But yeah, as I figure out ways to get my camera back on. Oh, no wonder. That makes sense. One thing you want to embrace is that you're going to be thinking in brand new ways that you might not necessarily be used to. And you don't want that to put you off. You want to just, once again, keep in mind the intuitive ability you have to go with the flow and uncover different parts of yourself. Okay? Thank you. I'll keep on saying profound then. Screw it. So I still have the specials up. I'm going to sneak peek this now. And you guys let me know how you feel about this. But I'm going to, as soon as possible, have my new website up. I have the team working with me so that we get the website up and running. For those of you who are having issues paying, that's going to be a thing in the past. But what I want to do is a super mega half off sale for the whole month of November, where all the readings that I personally have and maybe even some webinars I'll think are going to be completely half off. Is this something you guys will be interested in? I want to, because of the love and the support that I've gotten, I want to hook you guys up for November. Some of you may not be able to afford some of the services, so I want it to all be half off for the whole month of November. We're taking it back. I think the last time I did a half off sale was like May. I always have so much fun during this period because a lot of you hook it up and we're able to talk a whole lot longer. So I'm definitely down to that. The whole entire month of November, it's going down, my friends. I'm glad you guys are totally down. Yeah. All right. And is this it? I'm going to look into accepting Bitcoin. If I totally can, I'll see what I can do. All right. And Still Light, you're totally right. I'm going to be busy. So I'm going to be hella busy, but it's going to be so worth it. If anything, I might even do a special discount for Scorpios. Mask off. Fuck it, half off. I see you, KB. But regardless, I'm ready for the busy month. Like, I'm ready to talk to you guys. I'm doing maybe, I think, like 5 or 6 readings a day on average, if not more, because you guys are awesome and you're hitting me up for the 20-minute reading. So you can never do too much. Those are going to be half off, but I still have the special. It's $10 off for the rest of October. If you get the Peace package, the Quantum Partnership still applies for the rest of October. Now, if you get a live reading, you can still use the Quantum Partnership code, but the new code is Quantum Psychology. If you get a Peace session, and I more advise the Peace sessions, but if you get a Peace session or a 20-minute reading or any live reading, and during the live reading, you say Quantum Psychology, then you'll be able to talk to me about a special psychic ability that you're developing. I'm going to pull tarot cards that will teach you how to make more sense of certain paranormal experiences you're having, or if you want to know what your special psychic gift is, we can uncover this. Quantum psychology is the code. Book now. You will get a link to schedule. This week, I still have time. You have to book now, though, because I have a little bit of the early afternoon booked. And then next week, I definitely have open. But this week is not booked yet. It's just almost booked. Holler at me. Let's have some dope conversations. I'm having a bit too much fun. You guys are awesome with the readings. And yes, you can totally say both. Great question, Daniela. You can totally say both too. You can say quantum partnerships and you can say quantum psychology. All right. You can even say quantum psychological partnerships. But regardless, really keep in mind that you have a responsibility when it comes to the mental energy you exert, as well as your ability to embrace certain facets of your own magic. And it's only through doing that will you be able to really, once again, embrace what it is you're able to accomplish. Also, by the way, we still have the new moon in Libra, so make sure you join me for that. We're going to interpret the next 2 weeks, just like you saw me go on the Peace Mobile. We're going to look at the first quarter square where the moon's going to be in Capricorn. Sorry, where the moon's going to be in Aquarius, and the knowledge you think you have is going to shift with the new wisdom that comes into a being. So it's going to have you manifest up to the full moon. All right. And got you, Paladati. I will check my messenger. And thank you, Rogem. I'm doing what I can. If you think I'm on point, thank the universe. I will always take no credit for the truth that you hear me spit. Truth is just evidence of facts. So if it's the truth, thank the universe that I was even allowed to channel it. And I just thank you guys for listening. Because trust me, there was a period where they used to hang prophets, they used to hang channelers, people wouldn't listen. So the fact that you're listening makes this job so much easier. That being said, let's pull the cards. Make sure you join me for the new moon in Libra. I cannot stress enough the value of attending these live webinars. Anyone who has attended the full or new moon webinars, you can ask them. They'll type in the live chat and vouch for me. It is so worth it, especially if you want to manifest a relationship. I highly recommend you join us in the live webinar because we're doing this during a new moon in Libra, and pulling our energies together will help you hyper manifest and accelerate the relationships and align them. Any blockages you have in relationships, we're going to do special intentions so that we can repair and also set the vision for what it is that we want to open space for. All right. So totally more than it's worth. We're going to have special tarot card spreads and oracle card pulling where I do a present, past, and future. And I'll break down per sign what this will influence you and how this will influence you. So that being said, the webinar is going to be on the 19th of October at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to start pulling the cards. Stay tuned for after I start pulling the tarot cards, because I'm going to give a little bit of exorcism 101. After I pull cards for the signs, I'm going to read the wisdom of the house of the night. But before I read the wisdom of the house of the night, I need to give you exorcism 101, because Mercury in Scorpio is going to be your awareness of ghosts. Jupiter is going to evolve your mind to where They're not wisps anymore. You're not just hearing voices. You're starting to sense directly energies. So, Exorcism 101 is to let you know that you engage in exorcisms every day. Whenever you have an argument with someone and you're trying to probably change their mind, Rochelle Patrick, I will teach tarot. I'm gonna have a special playlist, but I want it to be produced well. But whenever you're trying to like transmute energy within someone, you might be going through an exorcism where you're not waiting for stuff to convulse. An exorcism is not like the movie where people projectile vomit. An exorcism is going to be more transcending psychological issues where you could talk to someone and expose mental scripts they have in their head, and you start to expose what the energy influencing them is. So stay tuned. I'm going to pull cards, and then we're going to go into just 3 points for Exorcism 101. Okay. And for Aries, Mercury and Scorpio is going to really make you in tune with what you're blind to. All right. You're not necessarily paranoid. You're just really in tune with certain things that are going down, and you want to really develop a trust in the ideas and what your mind surfaces. Okay. Thank you, Megan. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So Aries, Aries rising, Aries moon, the Wheel of Fortune is talking about your luck changing because there's going to be a secret that reveals itself, and you're going to uncover something that you weren't supposed to know, and that's going to shift the fate. It's almost as if, let's say, someone was planning something evil against you, and then a text message accidentally gets sent to you. Now it's going to change the fate because you're going to know it's going to change everything. Okay, so that's just an example. Taurus, Taurus moon, Taurus rising. Mercury in your seventh house is going to manifest very powerful partnerships, not in the sense where it's going to bring any powerful partnership, but it's going to, in a very magical way, make you aware of what other people are thinking, and it's going to pair your minds with certain people so that you could very deeply, you know what I'm saying, have deep conversations and invigorating conversations with people. Okay. Oops, let me keep shuffling. So Taurus, Taurus rising, Taurus moon. We have the Two of Pentacles. Because it's in your seventh house, you're going to be in a position to communicate with people who you're partnered with, and this will allow you to reveal certain facets of your relationship that are actually will help you grow more close together. Okay. Gemini, Gemini rising, Gemini moon. This Mercury and Scorpio transit is going to help you integrate powerful ideas so that you can make magic in your lifestyle, and you're going to find that you come up with really cool and creative ways to really tie your lifestyle together as you start the sixth house transit. Okay, we do have temperance. So really take these unconventional ideas and do what you can to, in a certain sense, really feel like you can moderate yourself, and also in a very powerful level, like come into great balance. The temperance card is talking about you coming into great balance through this transit because you're going to let the ideas and wisdom Mercury and Scorpio instills to help you do things in moderation. And this will give you great self-control and balance. Cancer, Cancer moon, Cancer rising. Mercury is going to inspire you to express your heart through sexual innuendo, especially with Virgo. And this is going to very powerfully open up a greater level of power for you, to where you want to be open about your sexual interest and how much you can derive creativity through the harnessing of this energy. All right. The card we have for you is the Four of Pentacles. So this is definitely speaking about being in a position to very profoundly gain a deeper sense of stability. If some of you are wanting greater financial security, this is definitely going to come to you and for you. All right. And Leo rising, Leo moon. Mercury in Scorpio is going to inspire you with some private thoughts to where you're going to key into certain awareness of things in a private way that allow people to play themselves, because people are going to come at you. For example, let's say you're a Trump supporter, okay? Um, let's say you're a Trump supporter and then you haven't told anyone you're a Trump supporter. And then you're going to see people who are like, oh, fuck Donald Trump. I hate Donald Trump. Yeah. And they're not going to know that you support Trump. So this is what's going to have certain people expose themselves in front of you. And Mercury and Scorpio are the private thoughts that when you release will be like, whoo. So we even have the Five of Swords to where you're going to really be arguing with a lot of people, because a lot of what you think privately is going to betray what they thought you really stood for. Okay. When we talk about now, Virgo rising, Virgo rising, Virgo sun. And let me just reiterate, because I, as far as where I stand, if I support Donald Trump or if I don't support Donald Trump, I'm anti-government. So I don't care who you put in the office. I don't vote. I'm not Democratic. I'm not Republican. I don't vote red. I don't vote blue, but I vote green. So I make fun of people who support Trump and I make fun of people who don't support Trump, because like a Gemini, I can see both sides and I see where there are flaws on both people's sides. And I just see how you're both being played by the system. But I don't want to be conspiracy brother right now. Virgo rising, Virgo moon. Shout out to the libertarian that taught me that taxation is theft. I recently learned that. But Virgo rising, Virgo moon, Mercury in Scorpio is just going to tempt you so much to speak in nothing but innuendo sexually. And you're going to really uncover a deeper, realer way that people really kind of speak. Like you'll be hearing people, but you're going to be hearing what it is that they don't do. And you want to be very mindful of this emotional intelligence that you really kind of open into. Andrea Hoops, I really do need a conspiracy webinar. That'll be fun. That'll be so fun. Okay. Anyway, we do have the Seven of Swords. Dominic, message me, educate me. I need to know why. I saw a video about taxation equaling theft, but I want your perspective. Virgo, we have the Seven of Swords. So this is talking about Mercury and Scorpio showing you how shady some people are. And it's definitely very important, because you're going to be in a position where you're able to deceive people who are deceiving you. The Seven of Swords is saying people who are trying to like deceive you, you want to deceive them back, so you mirror it. Allie Smith, I don't kiss and tell. I got that Scorpio DC, so it's gonna be a mystery, but you can use your imagination. All right, Libra rising, Libra moon. This is going to be very interesting, because you want to be in a position where you actually allow yourself to manifest your worth by communicating your value and letting it speak for yourself. Mercury in your second house is your ability to let people know and communicate to people why who you are and what you have to offer is worth it. So promote your services. You're really going to understand through interaction and experience how well, if anything, you could. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted by Ali Smith's comments because she goes ham in the live chat. But yeah, regardless, we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is speaking of, once again, you really being objective and you not necessarily getting in your feelings when it comes to people testing your worth, testing your value. Don't necessarily let that hold you back. Okay. Scorpio, Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon, you're in a position to where you will definitely gain a very powerful understanding of who you are, and is going to Mercury's influence is going to add magic. So the things you say are going to just connect with people when Mercury goes through your sign. So this is going to really allow you to just be more super magical in the way you do what you do already. And you'll be able, people will be hearing you, even though stuff that you've been saying for years or for months, people were ignoring. But now that Mercury's in your sign, they're going to be like, oh, really? And Scorpio, this is going to piss you off because it's going to be like, motherfucker, I told you yesterday. Like some of you literally beat people up and they didn't want to agree with you, but now they're just going to magically like act like they've been down the whole time. And it's just going to be like, oh, well. And we have the 5 of Cups. So this is definitely speaking of you kind of being a bit disappointed. Some of you might be dealing with someone who's disappointed, but the disappointment is not really bad. And Scorpio, I kind of feel like this might not be you who's disappointed. I think you're going to be dealing with someone like that. This could be, for some of you, that's literally like if some of you are wanting to attract a new partner, Scorpio, the love of your life could just have like horrible like you're gonna meet them, but they just have horrible baggage, and it's just like, don't judge them based off of that. They're meant to meet you, and you're gonna put a smile on their day. That's how you want to look at it. Okay. Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius sun. Saturn said that I have to sing. And I have to sing like this, but I'm gonna sing like this because it's awkward and weird. I have to sing for you, Sag, not because I want to, but because I have to. And Mercury in your 12 is gonna make you see all the stuff that people don't want to believe. And it's gonna put people on blast. And you're going to be in awkward situations because you're gonna see the secrets that people are hiding. And you'll see their insecurities too. And then they're going to try and hide it. And you're going to be like, I see through you. And then you're just going to be like, this is what it is. And then they're going to be like, Sagittarius, mind your biz. And then you're going to be like, I can't because it is what it is. All right. And we have the 6 of Cups. So it means you're going to bond with a soulmate. So this is great, especially for those of you who've been wanting to gain a deeper level of innocence in your connections with others. Look to a soulmate to do so. And this is the purpose of Mercury in your 12th, because you're going to have special time with them alone to really purify that connection. Capricorn, Sabrina Bolden, I tried my best. Why are you disappointed? Okay. Thank you, McCall. Thank you. I like to act like I can't sing, but I like your pitch comment. Some people really listen. Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising. Mercury in Scorpio is going to very powerfully open up an important understanding of who you can communicate with. You're going to have people who are close to you in your circle of friends spill the beans. And this again, I was just talking to a Pisces about this. I was like, Pisces, I make fun of you got Pisces so much for being secretive, but the real secretive ones are Capricorn and Virgo, because Capricorn and Virgo are the only zodiac signs that will do magic spells and rituals, and they will know how to do powerful spells, but then they'll turn around and they'll be like, I don't know how to do spells. Like, they won't lie. They have integrity, but they'll give you the impression that they don't do that. And then they'll like give you wisdom here and there. But when they give you wisdom like they're still learning too. But they're like masters though. Like, these people are working like they'll Capricorn and Virgo will know, oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so I have to do this, I have to do that. But then they'll like act like they don't do it for real because they like it's okay. See, this is how you understand this, and I'm blowing up their shit right now. So when you see a Cap Virgo, trust me, because like they gain pride in keeping it secret. Like, that's their shit. Like, you have no idea how much Virgo loves it when they act 3D and then you turn around and then they're like, huh, mortal fools, they don't know I have magic angel powers. Like, they don't want anyone to know. Oh my God. Like, trust me, Taurus does it too. But Taurus is just like mad subtle with it. So Taurus doesn't try and show face. Taurus will just kind of show you here and there. And then it's just like, and then you always double take with Taurus. Like, did that? Taurus will just say that 1 or 2 words to let you know they're with the shits. And it's like, did you just say that? But they're so subtle that it's like, nah. But you, Virgo and Capricorn, you're not fooling anyone. I'm apologizing. Because see, I thought this was Scorpio and Pisces and Cancer, only to find out it was really Capricorn and Virgo. Really? Okay. Because it's different. You know how Gemini and Sagittarius, see how it's different for the masculine signs? Like, Gemini and Leo are trying to let the whole world know that they're enlightened. Why the hell you think I made this channel? Gemini and Leo are like, I know this. Oh, look at how awakened I am. Sagittarius is fighting with Leo like, look, I can do this magic. And then everyone else is just like, shut up. Okay, we know you know. We don't care. Like, yeah, I see you guys throwing shade because we just shine so bright and we have to, but you guys don't know. Virgo and Capricorn and Scorpio be sitting at the side like, look at these fools letting everyone know that they're magic. They're supposed to keep it to themselves. It's supposed to be something that you just show to people who are special. So trust me, if a Capricorn or a Scorpio really messes with you, they're going to have that conversation with you. After they've like screened you for like 3 or 4 months, they're going to have that conversation where it's like, okay, Michael, or okay, my friend, I'm actually a witch. And then you're going to laugh at them and you're going to be like, ha! And then you're like, no, I'm very serious. And then they're going to show you their double life. They don't show anyone. Like, they could live with you for years and you won't know. So I had to expose you guys. I mean, I had to let other people know about this just so you know what it is. Like, yeah. Aquarius. Aquarius is kind of like this too. But Aquarius blinds you because Aquarius will show you what they know. And Aquarius will be like, oh, I'm into spirituality. Like, I know magic spells, right? Aquarius is just like Capricorn. Capricorn, they're not going to let you know what they do. All right. Aquarius is going to let you see this. They're going to be like, yeah, I do all these. But then they secretly do like some heavy occult stuff that no one knows. And but Aquarius makes you think that they're all like positive, high vibration and this, but then they do some other closet stuff too. And then Pisces is just straight in the closet. So apparently Capricorn didn't get a card. So let me do a card for Capricorn. I was so busy throwing shade on y'all. I try to skip signs. We have the 10. Oh, we have the 10 of Cups. But Capricorn, the card I originally pulled for you was the 6 of Cups, the soulmate card. So whereas for whoever got this first, which I think it was Scorpio, or Sagittarius, Capricorn, the 6 of Cups is talking about you having divine bliss with a soulmate, you connecting romantically with a partner. But this is important because Capricorn, you're going to have friends that just literally like spill the beans. The Wonder Team is just going to assemble and you're just going to be minding your business. And everyone who was an enemy of you, like you're going to have a friend that comes in and just is like, hey, I got dirty news on this person. And then you're going to have another friend be like, oh, I got the beans on this person. And it's like, you let go. All the people you resolved, their karma is just going to come back. And you're just going to have receipts. Like instead of you finding receipts from people, you're just going to have people who did spy work for you. And the best part is you didn't even ask these people to spy on these other people. It's just going to come. You know how somebody will tell you something, they're going to innocently tell. Every Capricorn is just going to be like this. People are going to innocently tell you information that's going to piece everything together. And they're not going to know that they just pieced the puzzle together. Like, oh, that's what this person was planning. Even though they're just going to give you like a small piece of the puzzle. And then you're just going to be like, oh, where? So whoever you're building a case against, they're screwed. Because I think Capricorns are building cases against people. And like when Saturn gets into Capricorn, this is when they're just going to show all their receipts. And I really feel bad for whoever has made you their enemy, because they're screwed. There's no coming back from what you're going to do to them or anyone who tries to come to you. And people don't know this. People don't know this. All right. So it is what it is. Aquarius rising, Aquarius moon. You're going to have an opportunity to share and speak out to the world. The 5 of Wands is speaking of competition, because in order to get your ideas out, you're going to have to really compete with other people. So Aquarius, what you want to do is to make a competition. Just so it's not your idea, you want to pit your idea with differing ideas, because if you're able to make, instead of you trying to do something, make a competition where you compete in it, so there's more people bringing more people, because your idea is going to have the most reach. But you can kind of play off of this energy with that, okay? And Pisces rising, Pisces moon, you're going to really see into the quantum realm, because Mercury in your 9th house is going to give you so many secrets about what's happening in your experience. And with the Chariot card, you're going to experience profound victory. So go the distance. This Mercury and Scorpio transit will very greatly allow you to, harness the momentum to break through to a great evolution. Okay. And we do have the Knight of Wands. So go on a cruise after this. If some of you need to whoop up the car and go on a ride and play your favorite music, you're going to gain a lot of passion. This could indicate another individual that's going to help rev this energy up for you. So allow yourself to passionately get revved. This is the card for everybody. And the Knight of Wands is talking about a very passionate evolution of your energy. So when we go into Exorcism 101, before I pull the super chat cards, a whole lot of what you're meant to experience when you feel energies is going to be denser. So for those of you who like to feel a lot of energies, when you meditate and when you feel your aura, you're going to feel your aura is heavier than normal. And that's because you're awakening more energy. When you feel and build up energy, you're supposed to feel like boom, 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 to where your mental force and then can generate this energy as a thought. But right now, everyone has like energetic weights on them. The reason why you try and feel energy and it barely feels like you're feeling anything is because we have entities around us. You have GPS signals on top that are draining your energy and feeding off your energy. Okay, so it's kind of hard to experience or feel it the way you want to feel it. This is going to change, and you're going to find out ways to actually feel your chakra just like you see on Dragon Ball Z. That's possible, and you're going to be the generation that does that. All right, Exorcism 101. When some of you are psychologically battling others and dealing with habits, see what we call impurities or demons, to the realist, we can call psychological habits or issues, where exorcisms are just you killing old psychological habits. So the first point that I want to give you is when you're battling demons within other people or within yourself, it's not supposed to work instantly. A lot of you can just use your Reiki energy. If you have moon in Cancer, moon in Pisces, or moon in Scorpio, congratulations. You have holy water. And when you sprinkle holy water on vampires or on demons, they go, and this is like being authentic. When you express your sincere, pure feelings and you shine integrity on someone doing something bad, they go. So sprinkle that water, do that Reiki. But if you're expecting it to work instantly, you have to take your time. Some people, it's going to work in 5 minutes and they'll start to feel it. Other people, you might have to take a couple of weeks. All right. You cannot give up because you don't see things happening instantly. It's only in the movies. Case in point, when I go on exorcisms, and if I'm having to deal with a demon, like a higher vibrational negative entity, first of all, I have to drink mad tequila so I can suspend my moon sign. And I have to get ready because tequila and exorcisms go hand in hand. All right. Sometimes cocaine. But when you exorcise demons, all right, the battle happens all night. A true exorcism of a demon or even a devil, you're going to battle that all night until the sun comes up. Because remember, vampires, they don't like the sun, right? Same with negative beings. You have to fight them all night so that they don't escape to another dimension or you weaken their health points. Some devils, they won't even be down at over half HP before it happens. And then once the sun comes out, you do your finishing move and then you seal the demon or you dispel it with the power of light. But what I'm trying to say is that, trust me, realistically, if you try and look at the movies, they have to make everything happen quick, because if they were to do it the way it happens in real life, you'll have these exorcism movies last 6 hours. And we have to have the theatrical understanding of someone doing a spell and then them reacting to it, because time costs money and the script writer has to make it happen quick. Because because we need to go on to that next scene. But in real life, and this is the same thing, movies are the quantum realm. Real life isn't. So the movie isn't wrong. It's just like if this was to happen in the quantum realm, when I do a spell, they're going to feel it. But in this real world, energy is slowed down. So when you do that healing, for those of you sending your twin flame healing, you're helping them fight demons. And you can't be impatient with the process. Number two, it's important to know that first, for number one, the time elapse is a battle. And this is where you're going to start to be able to see, if you have Sun on Pluto, you can see how effective you're battling these demons. So when I go on exorcisms, I'm usually going to bring a Scorpio chick, or I'll probably bring a Pisces or a Capricorn chick with me, because I'll have the power to like exorcise the demons, but I need them to be my eyes, because they're going to have their sun on these planets. So they'll be able to see, did I finish off the demon? Even though I'll be able to sense it, you go on teams and expeditions for these reasons. So some of you will be able to see the work you're doing. For those of you who can't see, you have to know that, hey, take your time with it. Like, don't give up. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to happen instantly. The second point is that these energies can attach to you. And these energies will attach to you. It's nothing new that happens, but you're going to start to be aware of it when you go out in public, and then you feel happy, and then you come back home, and for some reason you just feel low. Something attached to you, and you have to deal with it. So point two is and I'm not fear mongering. Some of you guys get mad when I talk about this stuff. Like, why are you guys fear mongering? Why are you fear mongering? Why are you getting people afraid? And I'm not getting people afraid. This is spiritual warfare. If you want to bring flowers to a battlefield with that positive thinking crap, go ahead. You will get murked with your positive thinking ass. You have to think strategically. You have to think tactically. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm trying to show you have the power to deal with this. I'm not telling you that they're demons and they're negative entities, so you have to be afraid about it. I'm trying to tell you it's real, and I'm trying to tell you what to do about it. And I'm trying to tell you these dumb entities cannot mess with you. And I'm trying to let you know they're powerful, they're real, but I'm letting you know they're not going to screw with you like that. Okay. So regardless, keep that in mind. The second point is to know that you got to shield yourself always. And the third part, of course, is to battle these energies with teams. Make sure you purify your sacred space, okay? When it comes to Exorcism 101, purify your sacred space, have sea salt, or do something where you clear your energy in your room, keep it clear. And then when you go out in public, Angela Taylor, Dick can exorcise you. And sexual exorcisms are very real. If you charge intent during the sexual act, this is going to be more powerful with maybe couples that have sex with just each other. If you're sharing your energy around because one of your partners is a hoe and they just have sex with everyone else, that's really dangerous, because if they have an entity that attached to them in sex with someone else, they're going to give it to you. But sex is one of the best ways to exorcise entities. The divine feminine is going to really, take in any excess energy, and the divine masculine can help transmute the energy. We call this dicksorcisms. No, I'm just joking. Sexorcisms is what we call them. Sexorcisms. Anyway, this could be done by scissoring if two ladies want to have a sexorcism, which is very revolutionary. But yes, let us now get to the Lactic Heart is like, share, Mike. I'm serious. Sexorcisms are real. All right. Sex exorcisms is like releasing your chakra into a genjutsu victim. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, Angel Aurora, do you think that's why we feel more horny now? Trust me, this Jupiter and Scorpio energy is going to make sure you have more sex. Jupiter in Scorpio and Lilith in Sagittarius is promoting so much more sexual energy. A lot of you who are staying celibate really hold to that celibacy. I know I said in a video that if you can have friends with benefits, have friends with benefits. If you are having a path of celibacy, make sure it's for a cause. Like if you are not walking a high priestess path, don't let these people guilt trip you into thinking that you have to be celibate because it makes you feel like some pure maiden and you're saving your energies for the right one and you're making sure that your energies are not impure. If you have discernment, if you have discernment and you're able to know who has pure energies before you have sex with them and you trust them, have sex. Just have sex. Trust me, because it's this intimate exchange that's going to help you heal things. There's certain things you can heal with a conversation. There's certain things that you need someone to caress you. You need someone to be intimate with you. You need someone to actually be vulnerable with you. And you can't just talk through it. Okay? Now, don't have sex with someone you don't know. Don't have sex with someone you don't trust. All right. I'm not telling people to just go out there and have sex with random people. I'm saying do the hard work to make good friends that you can trust and then have sex with them. Okay. But if you have to be celibate, you could be celibate. As soon as Jupiter entered Scorpio, the portal opened and sex is just that much more easy to have. And you have to have sexual integrity that Saturn and Scorpio taught you. So you're really not out here just having sex with anybody because Lilith in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Scorpio is going to make it super easy. And, you know, you want to make sure you're covering more than not. Okay. So we are now going to pull the super chat cards. Oh my God. Queen, thank you very much. Queen, we have beauty. So represent the beauty that you have in spades and be in a position to where you inspire others. There's beauty that's set to blossom from you, especially with Jupiter going in your first house. You're about to evolve in the way that you look and you're going to really gain greater beauty, and it's going to really show. And people are going to be like, whoa, Queen, you looking even sexier. Oh my gosh, look at that. Eliana, we have lust. So especially with this Mercury and Scorpio transit, there's going to be a lot of lust that evokes itself. Don't be a slave to this lust, but channel the lust so that you can release a lot of energy from your root. All right. And you channel this by breathing and just letting it go and feeling it, but not being a slave to it. Joanna Blaine, we have understanding, and you're going to, of course, gain great understanding over your current situation. Mercury and Scorpio is just going to add depth and wisdom to how you process what you experience. Pazia Woods, we have confidence, and it's important that you step forward with confidence because you have skills and talents you've developed that the people need to know that you can bring. So know that you are more than worth it, and you can really bring it forward. Thank you, MTTG. Tasha J, we have conclusion. It is over, and it's over forever. You're finally done with a certain lesson that kept coming back over and over. And I think you've been asking, is it over? It's over. Okay. So even if it comes back, let it know it could step. All right. The Pratt Pack, you need to know that the choices are coming back. The Pratt Pack, you finessed destiny. All right. You did the impossible and you tricked destiny. Destiny was like, you have to be yourself or you have to compromise 3D. And you were like, I'm just going to do both. And Destiny was like, oh my gosh, how did you escape this choice? But now it's back again. And now I don't think you're not going to be able to do both this time. So, I mean, you're not going to forsake yourself. So just prepare for what's going to happen with the 3D implications. Melanie Boyd, we have obedience. And obedience is outright speaking of making sure people respect your boundaries and making sure people respect what it is that you are paying attention and obeying. Okay. So don't let other people peer pressure you into lacking integrity, is what this card is saying. Miss Kiki, I'm going to intuitive you. And we have denial. So don't allow people who are in denial to bring you down. It's not necessarily that people don't believe you, Miss Kiki. People are afraid to embrace the path you're awakening for them because they're in denial. And until they're out of denial, they'll just keep shutting you down. So it's not you, it is literally their denial. Alrighty. Danielle Love. Brianne Mendez, Dominic really can go on for hours. Danielle Love, we have message. So you're going to gain a message from the divine in a very profound way that inspires you to really be open and receptive to the flow of energy. Okay. TT, and that message is going to be hella revealing. TT, we have message for you as well. And this is just going to be a message that's magically revealed, okay? And it's going to be like when you least expect it for both of you, you're just going to gain a sign or a message that shows you that your intuition is true, or it's going to be, you'll know it's a sign or a message. So really listen and embrace what you receive. Lisa, we have the moon. So embrace your feelings, embrace your inner instinct. Don't be so worried about if it makes sense, but just be mindful of how it makes you feel. So it's not so much about the details of what you feel, but the energy. This is going to guide you the right way. Deborah Manning, the card that I have for you is individuality, and people need to really experience your authentic nature so that they can be inspired to also be more of themselves. So make sure you shine that. Yvonne Jones, we have the warrior, and you're going to gain inspiration from a warrior who is a colleague of your craft, who with their attitude, a situation will show the inner warrior or outer warrior within them, and this is going to inspire you to act suit in certain ways. It's going to really affect you in an indirect way that moves you forward. Nancy Solorio, we have self-worth. So when it does come with getting favor with the judge, you have to let the judge know that you definitely are not just really like complaining about what you're going through. You have to let the judge know that you're not letting the judge know that you're worth him or her ruling in your side. You have to relay to the judge your own self-worth and let it speak for itself so that the judge knows you're not really asking for pity, but that you're doing this because you respect yourself. The judge will see that and you'll be straight. Star-crossed Pisces, we have reminder, and this reminder is don't forget that you're super magical. Because sometimes you get caught up in all the experiences that are holding you down that you literally forget that you personally can imagine your way out of it. Sometimes I lack so much trust, I forget to breathe. And then Victoria Diaz has to write in the live chat, just breathe, Michael. And I'm like, oh yeah, breath of life. I'm so dumb sometimes. So you just definitely want to remember that you do have that super magical ability, okay? And you'll never lose it, all right? And it's dark forces that are making you forget. So don't beat yourself up for it, but just remember, okay? Khalil Lewis, we have listening. So listening is definitely encouraging you to really hear. Darkness does not always equate to evil. Light does not always bring good. And you're going to delineate this from listening to people, because people are going to look a certain way, but from what they say, it's going to key you in. So just continue to do so. Brittany Gibbs, we have choices. So know that you're having to really process quite profoundly through certain people who are going to want you to take sides. And that's already not the type of thing you do. So try and find a way to let those people know that you see both their sides, and then kind of back away if you can. But if you do have a choice, definitely know that the choice you do will define you for the next 3 years. Sunshine B. All right, Brianne Mendez, please send her a message on Twitter. And if there's anyone you want me to get for a peace talk, message them and ask them if they would be down to go on the show. That way, if they're open to it, then when they hear from me, it's not like, who's this random guy? We have lust. Sunshine Bee, you're going to be evoking lust from a lot of people. So it's a lot of your negative energy that's going to bring it out of them, so that I could teach you to draw boundaries, but just be careful because it's mischievous. All right. And some people are going to be creepy. Miss Chris, we have individuality. Make sure people see how amazing you are. Make sure you bring out your individuality. Zoe wants to let you know that people are going to dig you. All right. Jackie Perdomo, we have wishing. And the things that you've been wishing for and hoping for have not been for nothing. Your constant state of hoping and wishing is bringing this more intensely. So it's not speeding it up, but it's making it more intense so it'll be more satisfying when once it really comes through. Saturn made contact and I don't know what to do. So Jackie, you want to definitely wish, and by your contemplation, you'll start to piece things together indirectly. Different functional. We have the moon. So the moon card is talking about you need to go inside and sort out your intuitive feelings. You're going to gain certain signs that you can restore contact, but the moon card is talking about interpersonal, subtle psychic energy being shared between you two. And once certain illusions are transcended on both parts, this will open the road for connection. But the moon card can be really confusing because you're going to swear you feel certain things, but it's not going to seem that way. And you're going to think you're delusional. You're not delusional. Trust in the psychic ability, even though all of it will make sense. Okay. Regina Phalange. We have loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. All right. Okay. And the loyalty you exhibit will let others know where they stand based on how others reciprocate that loyalty or not. Katrina Brown, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. We have the moon. So allow this cat to be the voice of your intuition, and she's going to really help you understand how to use a whole lot of your psychic power in a greater way that incorporates the deep mysticism of your soul. The Soul Trekker, natal Merc and Scorpio. What does this transit mean for me? Okay. We do have risk. Mercury and Scorpio is a risk that you're going to have to take. And thank you, Different Functional. This is going to involve it communicating something very deep about you. And it's going to be a risk coming out and expressing this observation or something about yourself that people may not take well. You want to take that risk, okay? Rosalind Steele. This deck is the wisdom of the House of the Night. We have letting go, Rosalind. So I'm going to let this picture speak for itself. Luna G, the card that I have for you is invisible. Specifically for you, this is talking about you dealing with invisible forces and having to change the way you think about them in a more corporeal way so that these aren't just feelings, but they're actual physical entities that have cloaked themselves. I'm getting the sense that you want to open your awareness to these beings and that you're not crazy for doing so. Lilac Ocean 420. We have confidence. So you gotta let these motherfuckers know who's boss. And you need to smile in people's face because Lilac, you're dealing with a bunch of bozos who think that their money and their accolades can make up for the severe lack of talent that they have, which you possess tenfold. So just let that speak for itself and let that confidence put people back in their places. KB Shang, we have individuality, and your individual nature and personality is a very, very, very powerful, contagious energy. And give people that gift so that you could really gain pleasure from seeing people embrace you. Scorpio water sign, we have focus. So maintain that focus. You've been focusing on something for a long time and it's like nothing's happened. The vision I have for you is doing recon on someone and it's like you're standing outside their house waiting for something to happen. And then finally, you're going to see something because the focus will pay off, okay? To be or not to be. We have oath. So remember the oath you've made to your higher self or to a higher being. If you need to make one, this will help activate your power. But remember the oath you've made to stay true to yourself. This is what you want to revisit. All right, Michael Blandon. And as you revisit, this is also what you want to very profoundly like tap into at a deep source level. Okay. Thank you, Olivia. Much appreciated. I always enjoy channeling because Pisces and Aquarius and to a degree Sagittarius and Capricorn, like I feel like you see my channeling more than I see it because I just channel, so I don't really see what's happening. But I always like to hear your experiences because it's like you really feel it. So Michael Blandon, the card that we have for you is invisible. Invisible is talking about making sure you lay low to a certain degree. If anything, this is kind of difficult because the meaning that's this really means is different in your case. You want to be very mindful of how much you're focusing on other facets of your life outside of yourself because you might not be paying enough attention to you and you don't want to be invisible to yourself. Sharon Andrea, we have trapped. And Sharon, this is talking about you being trapped by certain influences around you. The dark forces, because you're so powerful and strong, the dark forces are using good people to trap you to where you have to be selfish in order to free yourself from the trap because you know if you stop helping them, then they won't have anyone else to help them. And that's a lie. It's making it seem like only you can help them, but you should prioritize your freedom first and know that those who need your assistance will gain it in different ways. Calypso, Calypso. We have hope. Don't kill that hope. The sunshine is coming out. If you've needed confirmation, this card is saying keep the hope alive. Okay, definitely keep the hope alive. Olivia Cabrera. We have confidence, especially when it comes with dealing with that cancer. You need to express your gifts with confidence. And this card is saying that you're super psychic. So when you read cards or when you get intuitions, you're not reading it like, okay, this card means this transit means this. Like, you're fluid and you have your own intuition that supersedes the cards. So confidence is saying, bring this to people. Bring this to people who don't even, they're asleep, and let people know, yeah, I pulled this tarot card about you. This is what's going on. Even if they don't believe in tarot, because you have confidence in your magic ability, this is going to make them like, oh my gosh, this chick knows what she's doing, because you're walking in your integrity. So this confidence is saying, don't worry about, this is Mercury and Scorpio communicating what it is you believe through these actions, all right? And do it with confidence. Alfreda Nwosu. The card that I have for you is understanding. And you're going to experience great understanding about your situation, but important people in your life are going to understand stuff about you that was hard to do at first. And it's going to make you feel free because you're not going to have to explain yourself so much anymore. All right. Innovator TV, we have beauty. So you are expressing the beauty of your brand, and you're in a position to really expand upon and show the fruits of your labor, where even your physical appearance will definitely be affected. Black Yards, oh shit. Lachia Rodriguez, we have strength. Strength is saying that you're not fully aware of how powerful you are because you haven't had anyone powerful push you. A lot of weak people have like tried to try you, and so you haven't really seen how strong you truly are, and you're going to be put through something that shows you. So don't be put off by it. As challenging as it is, know that you're even more powerful. All right. Sunflower showers. We have message. And message is talking about you being in a position. David, I see ghosts every day, but they don't, it's not like I see wisps because I don't fast, and because I eat like meat and I eat processed food, it dulls my sight. So I'll barely see it. But if I fast, if I go on an all vegan diet, if I meditate, then I'll see them a lot stronger. And I have message, sunflower showers. It's saying you're going to receive an important message from the divine, and it's going to come indirectly. Like, it's not going to be like, this is the message. You're going to hear a story someone says, and it's going to really speak to you in an important way. Clarissa, the card that I have for you is vision. And this is saying to really renew your vision. This is also saying to really embrace your vision and really develop a certain sense and level of honesty or of integrity and pride in your vision, because Aphrodite will help you manifest this. And, oops, Cass Castillo, thank you very much. We have letting go. The more you're able to let go, the better and easier this energy will help manifest itself. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Some of you need to surrender to the energy that is trying to claim your soul. You can trust it. It won't make sense, but as Mercury goes into Scorpio, it will, and you'll now break through to do things that you never thought possible. All right. It will require obedience on everyone's part. Stay true to you and stay obedient to the advice and guidance your higher self gives. Until next time.